What was your immediate reaction to seeing the news that Mike Vrabel was named the next head coach of the New England Patriots?
I wasn't surprised. Not at all. It would have been a surprise to me if he didn't take the job. I know how he feels about the organization. I know how he feels about the program. Crazy part is, playing with Mike Vrabel, you knew Mike Vrabel was going to be a coach somewhere, some point, and when he was done playing football, because he was such a smart football player on the football field.
What do you have to do to maximize Drake May?
Well, I think it starts there. I think you look at these offenses that have had success this year, and not only have they had good quarterback play and they've taken care of the football, but their offensive line has really been a strong unit for them. It's been a versatile unit that allows them to run different run schemes, zone scheme, gap scheme, protect, drop back pass. And so, just studying that I think that's a critical place that we have to start with this quarterback to allow him to have time and some comfort to be able to operate.
During the press conference, you talked about, reflecting on the last year and how you embraced, I think was the word, you embraced helping younger players develop. Now coming here, head coach of the Patriots, a team with a lot of younger players. How do you think that'll help in your role?
Well, I think it will. I think you have to get to know them, and you have to be able to be creative and figure out what you can do well and enhance it, and then look at the areas of focus. Be honest with them, and we'll need to make sure that our players understand that it's imperative that we tell the truth, that we seek the truth, and handle it, because good players want to be coached. Great players want to be told the truth. What do I need to do to get better? What do I need to do? And when they ask you that, and you're honest with them, but then not only honest with them, but that you help them get there, is something that really goes a long way with a player. These guys, most of them, I would say a high majority of them, want to be coached. They want to be pushed, and they want to be held accountable to make themselves better.
And then on a different note, and I know nothing with the staff is finalized with that. What are some traits you're looking for in the offensive coordinator? Obviously, that was a big...
The versatility, right? The versatility of scheme. We need to make sure that the players on our team are able to execute what we're asking them to do. And if they can't, then we can adjust the scheme, right? We want to be versatile. We want to be, flexible. But coming back down to being a great teacher, being a great developer, and then inspiring the players to do their job better by making a connection. And that's the point. And there's going to be some good calls. There's going to be some bad calls. There's going to be some calls we want back. There's no perfect call, right? The best call is one that's decisive and that the players understand and that they believe in and that they have answers to. Like, that, to me, is the most important thing. So that they can get to the line of scrimmage, or they can break the huddle on defense, or they can cover a kick and they know exactly what to do. They believe in it, and they have time, and that there's no panic under the play clock, or the offense is set and the defense doesn't have the call. So I don't care how good the call is. It's not a very good one because they're not ready and it's late. So be decisive and also make sure that the players believe in it.
What is good, football fans, Bills Mafia, everyone out there? It's Coffee. Back at it with an update. Hit them buttons. Let's talk in them comments, sub up. For all the updates, man, it's so exciting. Playoff football. There's a lot of squads like my Bills, like the Lions, the Chiefs, the Ravens, those other teams alive in the NFC, right, who are still fighting for this Lombardi trophy, this Super Bowl ring. Comment if your squad is still alive, man. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of other teams that they're already in off-season mode, and we're seeing the coaching carousel effect start off, man. And this is an interesting situation here as Tom Brady is bringing the Brady way to the Raiders, right? And it's so wild with him being, a minority owner, and then we see him being an analyst this year, which, even being a diehard Bills fan, I've kind of appreciated Brady's analyst job. I feel like he's done pretty well. He's no Romo in the booth, but he's done a pretty good job. And, even though he's a rival, of course, you respect the GOAT, what he's done and all that, you know what I mean? My Bills, Josh Allen, we're trying to get started on our dynasty, which I truly believe we will, man. This is the year we're going to get that first ring. But with Brady, you know, I'm peeping what's going on, watching the storylines all play out. You know, can he bring the Brady way to the Raiders and get another ring, right? Like what we saw that he did with the Buccaneers. Can he do it in this minority owner capacity with the Raiders? As you know, word is, and I believe it, you know what I mean, that Brady's heavily involved in who bringing in coaches, trying to bring in players, finding the next signal caller quarterback to lead the Raiders under this new era and win some rings, right? Because as we know, that whole story broke, Brady was actually supposed to play for the Raiders, and it didn't happen just a couple of years ago, and there was so much drama within the team and people's feelings being hurt that they weren't the number one guy. You know what I mean? It all kind of brings me back to when Jay Cutler wanted or refused to play. It was like, you got to trade me, after he learned that the team had inquired about Castle, who filled in for a hurt Brady during that one season. You know what I mean? That's kind of what we saw with this Raiders team when people realized they weren't the number one guy and there was another plan that was set into place. We saw internal beefing with the team and it was a mess. Coaches almost, I don't want to say tanking, but not doing all they could do to win. They were trying to do all they could do to, you know, give the finger to someone within the organization. But with all this being said, a lot of individuals, myself included, thought that it was not quite a lock, but that Brady was going to bring Vrabel as the new head coach to the Raiders, right? As they're on this rebuild, Brady's trying to do what he can. They still got to hire a GM as well, man. Comment with all your thoughts on all this, right? But it was like, yo, like, you know, Vrabel and Tom got a good rapport. But at the same time, there's this head coach vacancy with the Patriots. Mayo was one and done. And you see what it is, man. It's been announced. Vrabel's the guy, right? He's already talking about everything that he's got to take on with this job and working with the youth, as the Patriots are a team that have a lot of younger players and some potential and everything, you know, like, and can he be the guy to maximize the potential in being a player's coach, if you will, is the way many look at Vrabel. And, you know, they feel like Drake may already be the guy, that he has potential. That other buster that they just had, who was our quarterback last year, man, that guy sucked. I was shocked to see him, you know, being the signal caller for the Patriots. Like, they really believe he could be the one to bring the franchise back to prominence. It is such a joke, man. And before that, we saw Killer Cam, who wasn't the same Killer Cam, you know, like he was on his way out. The offense that him and Belichick came up with together didn't really work too well. And at times he was benched for Stidham went out there and hammed it up. It's just been such a mess for the Patriots. A Patriots fan actually commented in my chat about that, saying, yo, we used to run the division, you know, because now the division, the AFC East, runs through Buffalo till further notice. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it flucked up one bit. This is our house. And, you know, we're who these other teams prepare for to try to knock off that pedestal. But dude was more or less saying, man, y'all went through it through all these years. But that's part of being a fan. You know, you tune in, you watch your team, you know, like that's the Patriots fan base is like how the Cowboys fan base was in the 90s, where there's just a lot of fake ass Fugazi fans who don't even really know nothing about football, who can't tell you even all the players on the field, except for the big franchise players that everyone buys their jerseys. But now that the Patriots have had it rough and not been making the playoffs, right, the smoke is kind of cleared and the fake fans have exited, you know what I mean? They're calling themselves a fan of another franchise now, and here we are. Vrabel's the guy. what do you think about all this? He's got hires to make as far as coordinators and everything like that. And it seems Brady, who, as I was talking about with all this analyst stuff, we're hearing next year he won't be in the booth. He's going to be in the front office working in that capacity with the Raiders. There's a lot of talk about, he wants Shedeur Sanders to be the guy, as we've seen them have a rapport, work together. Is there a way that he can finagle some things and get them, on draft day in position to select Shedeur? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But as far as the head coaching hires, there's reports coming out now that Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator for Detroit, who, like I was talking, some people are in off-season mode, some aren't now. This guy, he's the number one seed in the NFC. He's got a game to prepare for against Washington, so he's not, involved in this mess right now. He's trying to focus on trying to get a ring. We're hearing Carroll's name, Pete Carroll. Is his name really thrown in the mix right now? And even Deion Sanders. Now, how interesting would that be if we saw Tom Brady, right, who's took a personal interest, like we just said, in Shedeur Sanders, wanting him to be their guy of the future? How interesting would that be if we saw him, Shedeur, end up with the Raiders and Deion either stepping out of Colorado, which he's getting some paper there. We know this, right? But to coach his son in the NFL, right? Like how we're seeing LeBron James playing with his son, although things ain't really going the way a lot thought it'd be as he's in the league, right? But him end up coming and coaching some form or fashion with the Raiders. Could you see it all go down? Will it go down? What do you think about all this? Like we said, Brady's going to be out of the analyst booth in the front office. And what's so crazy with him being an owner, but being involved, all reports indicating in the rebuild with the Raiders and trying to win more titles off the field, right? And bring this franchise back to prominence. Being that he's a minority owner, he can't be at practices, meetings. It's wild, man. Conflict of interest. But there y'all have it, man. What's going to happen with Brady and the Raiders? Who do you guys think may end up coaching there? What do you think about all these different scenarios we're talking about? And is Vrabel the guy that can bring the Patriots back as well? Let's talk about it in the comments.
Passing game seemed to pick things up as the game went. Balance has been there for you all year. It was once again today. How comforting is it knowing that you have multi-pronged attack to go to?
Yeah, I think we only punted once today. First three drives, field goal, touchdown, punt, I believe. That was the first half, and it just felt like it was quick, but we were sustaining drives, and the drives that we didn't sustain, we felt like we were shooting ourselves in the foot, whether it was penalties or what the case may be. So, we were just trying to mix different personnels and switch looks up. And again, that's Joe Brady right there, and him doing what he does best. And he did it well today.
Each Monday, we declare a Coach of the Week award. It could be a head coach, it could be a coordinator, it could be a position coach. This week, we're going to a 35-year-old man who called maybe the game of his life yesterday. That's Joe Brady. Joe Brady gets Coach of the Week, and he did it against one of his mentors. Joe Brady entered the NFL years ago as a quality control coach for the New Orleans Saints, learning under Sean Payton. He took a long road, including an offensive coordinator gig with LSU, where he was Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase's offensive coordinator when they won the national title. All these years later, he's now in his second season as offensive coordinator of the Bills, and they put on an offensive performance that offensive masterminds would blush at. Look at that second column there. 72 plays, 26 first downs, and then the biggest number, that bottom row, ball control. 41 minutes of possession in a playoff game? That's unheard of. Joe Brady, 35 years old. Not maybe the hottest name in head coaching circles right now. I I don't know why. I'm not running these searches. Maybe someone should pick up the phone and talk about it and talk to him. We'll see as the rest of the playoffs go on. Joe Brady, as masterful an offensive performance an OC had this week, you get the game ball and the Coach of the Week award.
So you heard that there, man. Joe Brady, right? The guy that Josh Allen and him have just been on another level with this offense all year. And if you recall last season, the Bills with the struggles that we did have, right? He was the guy that when he got brought to town, changed the whole game. The team rallied around him. We got back to business, won the division, and did what we did. And, this season, truly him and Josh have just been like almost like they got telekinesis, man. And Josh has also stepped his game up, reckless mistakes and getting a little overzealous and things like that have just been eliminated. Like, real talk, even all the Josh Allen haters out there comment and tell me, you know what it is. You've seen it, man. It's been truly amazing, a spectacle to watch. And that is thanks to Joe Brady, right? It's been a long journey for this guy. You heard what he was talking about there, right? He, started as a quality control coach under Peyton in New Orleans, who he just beat in this playoff game with the Broncos, and we beat decisively. It was really a shellac and a whoop and a domination. And we're going to break it all down, what exactly I mean and why he is the secret weapon that is going to be a big part of the Bills getting this Super Bowl ring and beginning our dynasty. And you heard them as well saying, man, why is his name not thrown in the mix as a head coaching candidate? And that may very well happen, but just like I was talking about with the Lions offensive coordinator and all that, right? Some teams are focused on the coaching carousel and stuff like that at this moment. Some teams got games to go out here and win. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? But he beat his former boss, mentor, whatever you want to call it, Peyton. He also coached in LSU and all that, and he came to Buffalo and changed the game. And like I said, this year, the way he's opened this playbook up, we're talking about the Lions, the number one seed in the NFC, the way that Bills offense was clicking in that game, the plays that were dialed up, it's all just been simply amazing. And peep it, right? Just like this week with the game against the Lions, things started out slow, like you heard Josh, what was it, like field goal, TD, punt, or whatever, and that was the first half. And the second half, as things went along a little bit more, we saw him reach in the bag, dial up something special, get that passing game going. Ever since, and this is so smart, this is genius, and this has been my theory, and I want to know if you guys agree, as this Bills team has been a team that, like the way it goes with the playoffs, right? You can have a good season all year, right? And then ish the bed the last two games like Sam Darnold and the Vikings. And when it comes to the playoffs, the tournament, one and done, you're out of here. Yeah, it was a good season, but it's a wrap, right? This Bills team, the Super Bowl window's been open. It's still been open. It's all about the playoffs. And truly, this is what I feel has been going down, right? Ever since we've clinched the playoffs, Brady has said, listen, let's slow it down a bit. Let's get a little more bland with the playbook. Let's do a little more of what we're not going to do and not show them the real deal Holyfield-ish that we got, to just get on one like we saw in the Lions game and in these other games where the offense just put up astronomical numbers, because in this league, it's all about watching films and preparing for your opponent. And once, seriously, have y'all noticed this, that we clinched, we started slowing things down a bit, just like in this game. They're like, yo, we can beat the Broncos easy peasy, So we're going to rely on the run. We're going to give the ball to Cook, who, what a season this guy has had, franchise records and all that. And, our other running backs as well. We got a great running back room. They have truly been amazing. And, that one backup, running back that I was speaking of in the Lions game. The way they got him involved in the pass game was amazing. He had a touchdown reception, I believe, in this game against the Broncos. But that's what they did. They said, we're just going to try to make you stop Cook, make you stop the run game. And then we'll dial some things up when we need be, but we're not really going to show the opponents the real weapons, the real game plan, the real strategy that we got. And that is so genius, because it's like we're that good. We don't have to dig deep into the bag of tricks until we need to. You know what I mean? And here we go into this matchup this week against the Ravens. Lamar and the Ravens, this is truly the game of the week. Comment, everyone, and let me know if you agree with that. We got the Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson MVP debate. They got to come to the 716 Buffalo Orchard Park. You know what I mean? Deal with the Mafia. This game is huge. Defensively, we just got to get on our ish, stop Henry. I feel confident, and just also confident that we can go toe-to-toe offensively with them and put more points on the board. This is a game where we will probably dial some things up, but I truly believe that Josh Allen and Joe Brady has helped make Josh Allen a better quarterback, and they have just been so smart by saying, hey, let's not show our hand unless we really need to. We're that good. We don't have to until we need to. We're not desperate. We're good. So once we clinch that playoff spot, it's all just been more vanilla play calling, more bland stuff, and Josh just doing what he needs to do when he needs to do it, but just take your time with it, you know what I mean? And I really believe that has been the strategy. Everyone out there, let me know if you agree. That's why he is the coach of the week. That's why Brady is this Bills secret weapon. And I can't wait, man. Go Bills. Game of the week. Comment, everyone, your thoughts, all this about Brady, Joe Brady, Tom Brady, Josh Allen, the Raiders, the Patriots, Vrabel, the rebuild, the playoffs. Let's discuss it all in the comments. If you're new to the channel, it's all about hearing from the people. So let's talk, subscribe, stay tuned for updates. We also talk other sports, music, other news stories. We talk a lot over here. So thank you for tuning in. Joe Brady is that dude. He is the guy that is the secret weapon, that has changed the chessboard. And we're going to do the damn thing, man. We're going to go out there and get that ring, man. And you're going to see this week in this key matchup, Bills-Ravens. We've been here before, right? Ever since Josh has been a part of this team, minus his rookie year, it's been playoffs every year. And, we know what we're doing. And Brady knows what he's been doing by making Josh a better quarterback and by coming up with this genius. We'll show you what we need to show you strategy. I love it, man. Go Bills. It's Coffee signing out. Peace. God bless. This is the Super Bowl champs, guys. What an amazing year.